The Couch Deals are brought to you by the VLG Studio, the community for people with a story to tell.
You're now tuned in to the Couch Stealers anime podcast.
See that Reggie put in work, but the fact that even his sword knew, bro.
Oh my God! Why are you debating like this? This is so sad to see. He went to Wano and got one shot by Kaido twice.
Yo, what's going on, everyone? You already know it's the Couch Stealers. It's the one and only Meister Mikey J.
And it's your boy AU.
What up, Stitch? How you living?
Listen, broken but still good.
Oh my God!
I'm broken. But
I forgot that you
good.
could actually do that. That and Shivo.
Yeah, that's
You're
how I'm
better than
living.
me, then.
I'm broken but
guess
still
so.
good. Like that's all I got for you. Like this
Yo,
week
man.
this was a productive week though, for real. Like not in just like work wise. It just felt like a productive week.
Yeah,
At least
one
for me.
thing I'll say about that is I have to be productive with my job right now. But one thing I'll say is we weren't here last week, and that was because of me. So appreciate y'all rocking with us as always.
Yeah,
we had to
Mikey
get
was
episode.
getting he was getting his Diddy on in reverse rolls.
That's crazy. Don't ever in your life. That's crazy. No siree, Bob. No siree, George. No siree, Tom.
Via his
Dick, and
job.
Harry. Absolutely not.
Via his job. You know what's crazy though? I'm sorry, because I know we weren't going to really talk about this, and I don't plan on going too far into this. But
I ain't saying a word.
you don't have to say anything. You
I'm
don't have to say
reserving
anything.
the right to
You don't
let
have
you
to.
dig
You don't
your
have to.
own grave.
I'm not even talking about it. Listen, the Dave Chappelle skits with Diddy make so much sense now.
Oh my God.
Like it's all crazy. Like, what if Dave Chappelle knew something that we didn't know, and that's why he walked away from the 50 mil?
Dave Chappelle absolutely knew something that we didn't know, which is
Oh,
why he
no.
walked away from the 50.
It was crazy,
I don't know
though.
what it was, and I never want to know, but he absolutely knew something.
I don't want to know nothing. I'm
Hey,
good.
hey,
I'm good in
listen,
my ignorance.
We said it
All
last week.
set.
Yo, AU man, let's dive right in. We got to talk. Let's start off with a hot topic as we roll through. We kind of talking about some of the things we're going to bring into this week. So, wanted to kick it off with anime that let you down. Now,
We had overlap.
We have some overlap with anime that let you down, but there's going to be explanations for several of mine.
But there's going to be
before I
explanations
go
for
into
mine
it,
as well.
I'm gonna let you go first. Yeah, I'm gonna let you go first because mine are gonna.
Let's just go one for one instead of doing
right,
like all
one
them.
for one. One for
One for one. I'm not going to do any of our overlaps. I'm gonna go and start off with Berserk. And Berserk, if you've seen just the movies of Berserk, you know how like raw and like magnificent this storyline is. You've seen the movies.
I unfortunately have seen the movie.
Brutal as fuck. But you can't say that it's the story, not original. It's good. You got great, memorable characters, whether you like what they do or not, or whatever it is. Like Berserk is a great show, and the people who have read the manga or are reading the manga, you're like, this shit is goated. So it's like
I've heard that said a lot when it comes to Berserk being
it is
goated.
cult classic. I would say it's cult classic for sure, but everyone that I believe has read or follows Berserk will be like, this is one of the goats.
That's the crazy thing about it, because to that point, it is weirdly like a cult classic. At the same time, people love it. People stand by it. You are one of the people that waxes poetic about Berserk. Not I, said the cat. Not I.
It's still a good story, and the characters are still good, and like it's crazy. It's wild. It is wild, but like, so that the reason why this is one of the biggest letdowns for me is because it had more than a few iterations of it, and each one just kind of just like did not hit the fucking mark.
But in what way?
Like, how do you get that many like redos of this shit, and they just don't? It just doesn't work out.
Redo.
Like, oh no, we stop that shit. We're never talking about redo of Healer ever again.
No, I wasn't going to redo it.
Oh, that's what I thought you were going to say. We are not talking about no redo.
I was talking about the episode of Fairly Odd Parents when Cosmo became the redo watch. We were on two completely different spectrums with that one. We were on
you said redo, and that's immediately brain just went redo it here. And I'm like, oh my fuck, I'm traumatized.
Yeah, that's a lot of trauma. You gotta tackle that one.
You made me watch it.
I did. It wasn't my fault. I don't want to talk about redo yet.
What? We're not talking about the show. We're talking about the fact that you made me watch it.
I couldn't take on that trauma by myself. I'm not gonna lie.
I
100% through that. This is crazy. I wasn't taking that by myself. There's no way.
How you start off with this much fuckery?
After one episode, I was like, nah, I can't be the only one that has to deal with this.
Anyways. So they missed the mark on multiple different iterations of Berserk. The most recent one, I think a lot of people got turned off by the animation, which I didn't mind that much, but it didn't really follow the story that much.
I don't know the story of Berserk as well as you do. Did you read Berserk?
I'm not all the way finished, but I'm taking my time on it.
Okay.
I'm taking my time on it. I
may dabble. There's so much that I want to read manga-wise, but I may dabble with Berserk because I don't think I'm ever going to watch it. I don't think I truly, after I saw the movies, I was like, I don't got to watch the series.
No, there's so much more. Yeah, you do. There's so much more. The movies are just that's the beginning. I kid you not, that's literally the beginning of it all.
All right. So, because
you didn't even get to him I'm not even trying to spoil too much. You didn't even get to him with his armor yet.
That's the thing I heard. His armor is supposedly legitimate, one of the craziest armors in all of anime.
I'm not saying nothing. All I'm saying is you didn't even get to his armor yet. So you I'm telling you, that's the beginning. So Berserk, I felt like it's a big letdown just simply because they had a few chances to actually pay homage and do this correct. And for it to never just pan out was just what happened? How do you keep getting funding to remake a show? Where is this coming from? Who's funding this?
Bro. Manga sales, and they just. So would you?
Is it manga sales?
Would you get excited?
Berserk manga sales
for if they were to take yet another crack at it? They were going to take another crack at it and say,
I don't know.
Let's try and create a perfect rendition of Berserk. Do you think they could actually accomplish it, and would you be excited for something like that? Because you don't sound like you would.
At this rate, I don't know, because I'll probably watch it just to see if they do try to get it correct. You know what I mean? So it's I want to see, but if it obviously starts walling the fuck out, then I probably won't finish it. You know me, I'm a big proponent. If this shit ain't kicking right, then I'm not gonna watch it. I don't even see Berserk in top manga. Hold on. Berserk. Average sales per volume for Berserk is 1.5 million almost. And approximate sales are 60 mil.
That's not bad.
So that's not bad.
It's not bad.
But I still feel like that's not enough to just have. I think Berserk had 3 iterations.
I mean, because I know of Berserk with the old school '90s one. That's the one that I see the most. That's the one that when people talk and wax poetic about, that's the one I see them talking about the most. But I also see them really talking about the movies, specifically around obviously how everything goes down with Griffith. Because I mean,
it's still not over, by the way. Just so you know,
I know. But it's tough. It's tough if you've got opportunity after opportunity, and you've had different renditions of the story, and you're still not hitting the mark.
That's what I'm saying. It's kind of just
keep trying.
I'm looking now. There was one October 3rd released an article, and it's Berserk is finally getting the anime it deserves from fans. Only the
not the story coming right directly into what we were talking about. For real,
literally. Like, I mean, we're gonna see, but like I said, I'm gonna give it a shot. But like, only the Lord knows.
Who's your favorite character out of Berserk? No,
I feel like it has to be Guts.
It's like it has to be Guts.
It has to be. This man has gone through too much. There's too much. Nobody has my soul would have been tainted. I don't know how his ain't. I might have just like, fuck it, make me a demon or whatever you got to. Like, I can't go through this no more. My boy is fighting the best battle.
All I know is when I saw the way that Griffin did his girl, I couldn't no more. I was just like, all right.
That shit was crazy to this day.
Yeah. That's exactly how I would put it.
He slaughtered his whole entire company.
The whole band.
He slaughtered his whole company.
Yo, man. Berserk is a good one. That's a good first one. I'm going to come back with one that I actually was a little excited.
I'm sorry, I didn't go into too many depths because I don't know who's watched it. I don't want to spoil too much from Berserk, but if you do get the opportunity and you are reading manga, read Berserk. Trust me. It's dark. It's fucking nuts, but like it's still a pretty wild ride, and it's worth it.
I'm going to go with, for my pick, Dead Man Wonderland. Now, Dead Man Wonderland for me, and let me take it back. I greatly enjoyed Dead Man Wonderland when it first came out. When it first came out, it was... Remember when Toonami was coming back after it had gone away?
After like its little hiatus or whatever, and then they did the remake
for Tom 5 to 7 years. And Tom came back. I think we were in college when this started.
It was. I think it was like beginning of college when Toonami kind of first came back.
Yeah, and a couple of the first anime that they had were like Casher and Sins, and I think they had an Aruka 7 series. But the one that stood out
to that series, but sorry,
I didn't like it. Couldn't get into it because Aruka. I tried several times with Aruka 7, and I didn't like it. Although I do like one of their openings. One of their openings, Escape, is pretty fire. But I tried. But they had a couple of series like that. I think Samurai 7 was another one. But the one that really stood out to me was Dead Man Wonderland, and that's the one that I watched every week. I was on Dead Man Wonderland every week because the story was...
I didn't know you were on Dead Man Wonderland like that.
Yes, I was on Dead Man Wonderland like that. Between, like, Ganta's story was crazy in itself, but going to the prison, having, like, the gruesomeness that was going on in the prison. I mean, everyone was the girl Marie from God U, from Gen V. Everyone has her power. They all just like their blood does some type of like trick or thing, and they fight each other. And they fight each other in the prison. It's dope.
So
and it's like
the prison with blood powers.
But the prison is an amusement park. All right, it goes deep. The prison is an amusement park, bro. It's crazy. I love Dead Man Wonderland. It's like that episode of Black Mirror when everybody was walking around with the cameras following. Trust me, it sounds crazy. It sounds nuts how you got a blood.
This definitely, I think you already kind of like hit it on the head when you said something Black Mirror-ish. This is a Black Mirror episode if I ever heard of one. This is Black Mirror, like straight up. Boy, you talking about they got powers. Their powers are blood. They're in a prison, and the prison is inside of a theme park.
The prison is the theme park, my brother.
So people go there to watch people kill each other with blood powers. Sick.
No, well, it's not them. So the blood powers is them fighting each other on the inside, but
that's what I'm saying. Yes.
No, the amusement park is so much worse. The amusement park is it's like what's the show that just Netflix? Squid Games. The amusement park is basically Squid Games with an audience. Oh yeah, it's great. It's great.
Oh, so this is no, never mind. Because Squid Games has already been done before. I was going to say, but it's like this, but like
like Battle Royale or something.
Yeah, Battle Royale.
Yeah, I figured that's what you were thinking. I'll say this though. One thing that was very frustrating about Dead Man Wonderland was their story that they never finished or fleshed out. I'm gonna have to pick it up and see, if the manga is any different. But as far as the anime is concerned, it felt like budget was an issue, whether it was budget for them, budget for Toonami. it felt such.
The ending was so change in the couch.
The ending was so stupid. It felt like the ending started a new season. It was like when series sometimes will have like the episode ending start the new season, or like half of the episodes start to set up the new season. It was basically kind of like that, and it just went away. Blood Lad was another series that I watched that did something similar, where like the final episode was supposed to set up the next like season and a half, and it just never got done again. So Dead Man Wonderland had a lot of opportunities. I know a lot of people still like to cosplay the main female character in the show, who was fire, even though she was like adorable. I can't even remember her name, but she had like mittens on her hands.
Dead Man Wonderland, right?
Yeah, Dead Man Wonderland. Like the long white hair. She had like the white and red like cat suit and mittens on her hands. Like,
okay, I see her.
Yeah,
she looks like a very cosplayable.
Yeah, but like her character was absolutely like split personality kind of thing, and we never found out what the other personality was. But I think the other personality is the whole reason why Gantz is there in the first place.
She looks nuts.
His whole class got massacred in the first like 20 seconds of the entire anime. And then he, as the only
survivor, she looks crazy,
bro. He, as the only survivor, got blamed for killing everyone in his class, and that's how he got sent to Dead Man Wonderland. Yo, I am telling you, I love Dead Man Wonderland.
Okay. So why were you disappointed? Because this sounds fucking nuts. This sounds like some shit you have to watch sober. I feel like watching this high or something like that would just be too much.
I didn't like it because and the letdown comes in with the way they did not finish the series, the way they didn't finish the series, the way that as someone who was watching week by week, you can tell something was either building up or they didn't know where they were going to go with it. And the ending started to get very misconstrued. They started adding in new characters, new people. They started adding,
and then they couldn't close half of the fucking arcs and stories and within it all.
Like I'm telling you, the last episode of the series is like something that's like, I think it's like 3 years later, and none of the main characters from the episode up to that point are in the episode. It was very much very just random and thrown together, and it felt that way. And as someone who was watching a series and loved the series and was in it week by week, I was like, yo, Toonami's back. I'm here watching Toonami on the dot, on the clock, on the dot.
And you got this fucking fire kind of concept happening right now.
Crazy concept. And now there's a lot. Here.
There's a lot of things in that for you.
A lot. And then you feel my pain. You feel the letdown. Because I was there. I was in it. We were here. It was You could have like, one time, like,
I have a follow up for that. I have a follow up.
What you got?
That I think is similar. Just way more fucking convoluted. These motherfuckers just decided they was going to do whatever the fuck they wanted to do. Tokyo Ghoul.
Okay, all right. So I never watched season 2 of Tokyo Ghoul.
What a blunder!
Partly because of how bad Utopia was.
What a fucking blunder! Like, they loaded that blunderbuss and just shot it everywhere, like, into the air.
Blunderbuss is crazy.
Like, I, to this day, have tried to think about why they did what they did in the second season of Tokyo Ghoul and cannot find any words. It was like almost walking into a whole new anime.
Mm-hmm.
And you didn't really figure out why it was happening.
They never revealed what the whole...
There are hints, and like, not hints, but like there's certain things you get revealed for yourself as someone who's watching Tokyo Ghoul. You're like, okay, I can understand why Kaneki is in the position he's in, but like, what the fuck else happened? Like, how did we get here, bro? And it's like, so I
that was
read...
hilarious, by the way.
So, and here's the thing. I read all of the manga for the first season.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay, yes, there are definitely some things that they should have kept, but it didn't deviate in a way where it's hurting the anime. So I think the first season, and I think if you haven't watched it, I think I've told you to watch Tokyo Ghoul.
I've seen the first season. No, I've seen the first season.
Okay, you've seen the first season.
Yeah, and like when he gets tortured at the end and gets the white hair, and he's like,
yeah, he gets the white hair Kaneki. Oh, God.
Yeah, no, that Kaneki was fun. That Kaneki was a lot of fun.
White hair Kaneki is my boy. And again, I'm not trying not to go into too many details because, like, one, I didn't even finish the second season, so I couldn't.
How far did you get?
I got like 5 episodes in.
Out of how many?
I think there is a total of 12.
But I think about it like AOT. Remember when the last season whenever season of AOT started, and we randomly were just with Gabby and Falco and everyone, and we were like, "Yo, who the hell are these people?" And it felt very random in a very similar way that I remember watching WandaVision for the first time. And the first
I never watched WandaVision.
WandaVision is one of the slowest shows I've ever watched in my entire life. At the beginning, it is almost unwatchable. Those first couple episodes, I can't lie to you, it really is. It's almost unwatchable.
Season 2, 12.
12. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
WandaVision gets better, but it's almost unwatchable because it just feels you feel such a detachment from what the heck is going on. And that's what it sounds like Tokyo Ghoul. Like, all right, I know the main character. I got the main character. We here. Kaneki and I are like this. All this other stuff don't make no type of sense to nobody anywhere at all.
I don't want to have to go through like more than a few episodes trying to figure out how I got to where I got to when we already we had our baseline, and then out of nowhere, it's like he woke up in a dream, and it was just like. And again, there is some like Kaneki's like Kaneki, but he's again. I'm not trying to spoil anything. Some memory issues, essentially.
It feels like someone got hit with the Men in Black joint with a little right here.
Man. Okay. Like it is. That's out. Without any spoilers, you could chalk it up to that.
Okay. Who got hit with that, though? The viewer or Kaneki?
Both of us! What the fuck were they doing in Tokyo Ghoul Season 2, man? Like, I like... like, I don't understand how it went to, like... Again, I'm trying not to, like... Okay.
Do you think? Because I honestly don't know.
There are time skips in season 2 that occur, and they're random, and there's barely any dialogue between the characters we do know. So it's like you don't understand what's happening when I'm telling you. Like it's convoluted as fuck. It's like, what were y'all doing? Like, I don't know where they were trying to go at all. Like you had this first season. It's like, okay, they're crushing it. I can see this going in a very good direction. And then you get to season 2 and you have no idea why this shit is happening. You don't know why. You don't know why. Like, collectively, I think anybody who, like Tokyo Ghoul would equally be like, this is one of the worst fucking follow-ups of a season of all time.
Yeesh, like that?
Yes, man. Like, look up some of the reviews. It's confusing as all fuck. There's no connection or like continuity of anything from the story from the first season. It's like a whole new fucking everything, and we don't know why.
See, the frustrating thing about that, I think the most frustrating thing about that is the fact that you are sitting patiently waiting for all of these dots to connect. At some point, you're thinking to yourself, these dots got to connect at some point. Something here going to have to make sense with something else. And they just never connect, and the show just ends. I'd be ready to fight somebody, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd be ready to fight somebody. Why you give me back my time? Do me like the Mr. Krabs hit the button and took the whole movie back from the dude's head? Like, do something like that. Because I'm not going to sit here and put all this time and effort trying to follow all these storylines and where are we going and all the tangle webs we weave it's just like, for you to leave me. Just
what makes it worse is that, like, when I tell you, I'm not joking, I'm not exaggerating.
No, I see the pain.
It was like a whole new anime in season 2, like a whole new fucking anime, and you're trying to figure out, and you're on this roller coaster, like, trying to figure out when the drop is going to stop, and it never ends. You're just like, where's the relief of this fuckery that you have created?
Oh my god!
There's
bro.
no ties to the first season.
Bro, you was out here trying to watch Tokyo Ghoul. You got like Arkansas Ghoul.
I got West Virginia Ghoul, boy. Like this was crazy. Like it. I can't explain it to you because like it's the reason why I can't also put it into words and like also like trying to not to do any spoilers to anyone who may want to watch it. But the biggest reason why I can't put it into words is because you genuinely are just confused.
How did I get here? Where's my wife?
Where's my wife? I don't know. I can't put it into words for y'all, man. It was a really, 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 really big letdown.
One that I got
top five for me. Ooh. Top 5 in general. I know we're gonna probably run this list back again, but the Tokyo Ghoul season 2 might be top 5 worst like blunders for me in anime of all time.
That's wrong. That is very.
It made no sense. It made no fucking sense.
Shaman King.
Fuck it. Hold on.
No, do you think? I want to.
Oh, yeah, no, I got you.
Would you? Oh, you're gonna look up like how bad it was on like anime?
No, I'm gonna read one of the reviews from somewhere. Here, let me see. Tokyo Ghoul, myanimelist.net. My anime list is a recommended one. Let's see.
I'd rather watch anything else.
Mm-hmm.
I'd rather watch paint dry.
Oh, these are crazy. So I'm trying to find. Okay. Yet again, Studio Period has bent the anime community over and fucked us.
Hey, yo.
Art/sound. The art and animation is basic with the most of the action being goddamn slideshows, essentially. It doesn't reflect the manga's great art. However, the sound is actually good in general, especially the OP by TK and the voice acting. Plot, character, 120 chapters and 12 episodes. There is no fucking plot. I have read a bit of the manga and I'm still lost. It's too fast and we get no explanations or understandings of what's going on. Due to this pacing, all the characters that have been thrown at us get no development at all.
Yeah, no, I ain't gonna watch it. I ain't no world.
And you should.
Nah, I'm good.
And I feel like they were being nice.
Bending over backwards is being nice. I don't know. Janet ain't say it real nice.
I didn't even say those weren't my words. Those were not my words. So I'm gonna let you go on and pop on into your next one.
Well, my next one is Shaman King, and I could be quick about this one. The reason why Shaman King is there because the original Shaman King that people watched on like and I'm talking about the Netflix one, the Netflix remake.
I was saying, you're talking about JetX.
Yeah, I'm talking about the Netflix remake because I never watched the Shaman King on JetX, and I remember a lot of people talking about that watch Shaman King. You know how it is sometimes when you watch older anime from when we were kids. It's Yu-Gi-Oh. Yu-Gi-Oh ain't no. Although Battle City is dope, Yu-Gi-Oh ain't no real great. Battle
City's fire.
Just, come on, ain't no real great anime. It's just not. It's a card game. And that's how I feel about like Shaman King. And I said Shaman King is something that when the remake was announced for Netflix, especially after we heard the fire intro that they used to have on Cartoon Network or JetX or wherever it was, like that was dope. So I was like, all right, let me get Shaman King. And I was excited to watch it. I really, truly was excited to watch it. I watched like the first couple episodes. I was like, okay, we getting somewhere. This is nice. It's nice. Bro, it was so boring. It was so boring. It was just boring. It was just boring as hell. There was no other way around it. It was just boring. I kept trying. It was just boring. And that's a disappointment and a letdown in itself because I wasn't super gassed for it. I was excited for it, but I wasn't like, oh my, like if Demon Slayer came out and was boring like this, it'd be a problem.
Cool.
But I was just, all right, let me watch something new. I've heard so many great things about this. I'm really excited to check out the Shaman King. Bro, I'm telling you, it just, nothing ever felt like I could not only connect to the story, but it never felt like the stakes were high enough or anything really mattered. It just felt like it was happening. And even the characters weren't
no
super
stakes. They were just like
the characters also weren't really likable. And that was the thing that was kind of tough for me because how are aren't any of the characters likable. Like I could, at least somebody. There's always
so is this a
cool
writing
bar
issue, or is it just like
and the story just sucks? I'm sorry. I might have to
the
pick
reboot,
it up
correct?
Yes, the reboot.
Okay.
It's just it didn't feel like the main character tried to be, that aloof main character that's kind of, I don't want to do my duties, but I will do my duties when time comes. He's got like the dorky Krillin, who was, he was probably the best character that I ran into, the dorky Krillin character.
Mm-hmm.
And then like the girl that came in, she was all right, but like her whole plot was like, I'm supposed to be this guy's wife when he becomes the Shaman King, so I'm just preparing to be the wife. And I'm like, baby girl, come on, I need something better than that. I don't know, I need something better than that. So I don't know. I've tried on at least 3 or 4 different occasions to watch Shaman King and to really like hunker down. We watch a Shaman King. I've either fallen asleep.
That shit reminds me of fucking Reborn. Bro,
Yeah,
I have given Reborn the Scout's honor. I have given Reborn a fair shot multiple times. I have tried.
I'm telling you, I tried. Hey, I'm telling y'all, I tried.
I tried, and people were like, just stick it out. It's gonna get so.
When an anime starts putting you to sleep, that's it for me. I can't. It's hard for me to go back after
I'm blaming you for this.
Blaming me for what? What I do?
For Reborn. Because the first time I ever watched Reborn, I was high as all hell. You said, watch this shit. And the first time I heard that little motherfucker go, Reborn, I was crying, laughing. And at that point, you know what? I don't think I could have ever taken the show seriously. Ever again.
I eventually am going to finish Reborn. I cannot.
If you fucking finish Reborn,
you don't want to play that game because I will finish Reborn.
No,
you don't want to play that game.
There's no way you finish Reborn,
bro. I will duct tape my eyes open and finish Reborn to get through the 35
eyes just to watch it. Is like, do you not understand what I'm getting at here? Because like, nah, you're a bug. This boy said he had to duct tape his eyes.
It's just the first. What do people say? It's like the first 35, 40 episodes.
No, it's more than that, bro. Like you gotta go through. Like I saw like 70 episodes before this shit get to a point where it's like, okay. Like, nah. And everybody that watches Reborn has been like, yo, because he's like one of the best anime fire users in like anime or like rather manga, whatever. And I'm just like, nigga, I don't give a fuck that this nigga's one of the best. Like, you're gonna have to pay me.
I'm gonna have to take your word for it, bro.
I'm not gonna take your word for it, and that's all I got for you because getting through Reborn is tough. I did finish, since we're talking about just getting through shit, I finished the first season of Spy Family.
Very nice. Yes. That's what we love to see. That's what we love to see.
I still stand on what I was saying previously, whereas like they need to give me a little bit more of like the actual underlying theme of the show. And the underlying theme of the show is a very serious thing.
Oh no, this is a Cold War.
It's a whole fucking Cold War, and it's real. Like it's a very real thing that's happening, and they do too much masking with like everything else. And as much as like, let me not. I respect Spy Family. I know why. I understand why everybody loves it. I understand. I'm on board. But I need more. I need more of the underlying story because like it feels forgotten at times. Even when they bring up the actual like what's happening behind the scenes, it still gets masked by like either the slapstick or just like something cute or like, and then it just feels like it gets so drowned out. So I'm just like,
watch season 2, bro. Watch season 2.
That's all I'm saying.
Watch the season that just dropped because the movie's about to come out. So actually, excuse me, actually, you could catch up and be able to like watch everything right as the movie's getting ready to drop. One thing that's crazy about it too is the cool thing with Spy Family and the way that they do it. They do a lot of masking, to your point, but the masking right now isn't done in such a childlike way. Like, it's still got, you know, Anya's like 4, so it still has like
I don't want the core of the show to lose its core. But I just need them to augment and add on, like get me into what this whole entire thing is about.
Yep. Oh yeah.
That's what I keep. That's what I lost a lot of in season 1. I keep losing. Like, this, as lovable as this whole entire show is, I am losing that. This is what the show is about, really. Mm-hmm. And you're not giving me that at all.
It's getting. Here's what I'll say. First of all, watch at least the first like 5 minutes of the first episode of season 2, so you can hear that opening, because that's one of my favorite openings out, and because it's just fire. But what you got to understand when they start to reel that out, and one thing again that Spy Family does really well, they do it when you're least expecting it. Sometimes, like sometimes it's just like, all right, this is the episode we hear, but you'll be in cutesy land, and next thing you know, something will happen and be like, oh wait, no, this is serious, like in this episode. So you do start to get a little bit more of that as the seasons go on, because I think right now they're still building the characters for us. And at the end of season 1, going into a little bit of the beginning of season 2, they're definitely still building like how much we're going to love Anya, how much that like the relationship between Yor and Lloyd. We get to the main, like we're starting to get to the main course. We're still getting appetizers right now. You get into the main course very, 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 very soon. So keep watching. And I mean that not in the Reborn type of keep watching. Keep watching. You going? No. It's going to be there.
My headphones are dying. Sorry.
I think one thing that's funny to the point about Reborn is people talk about, like, people probably gonna look at this and be like, y'all talking so much about Reborn, but y'all caught up on One Piece, right? Y'all watch One Piece, right? At least One Piece
never gave me a lull like that, bro.
Yeah, One Piece is entertaining.
One Piece is entertaining.
One Piece is entertaining. Even when they do silly stuff in One Piece, it's still entertaining. As opposed to Reborn, where it's literally a little cow shooting like a missile launcher after he becomes
One Piece is not the same.
Doesn't he jump in the RPG in it and blows him up?
It's got like, it's like Reborn has like Gintama like level of like slapstick.
Yeah, but it don't hit the same.
So it's like you're asking me to like be like, oh, you did this, but you won't do this, and I'm like, it's not the same though. There's levels of all of this shit. So yeah, I can understand that. And I think this is where we get into our overlap, because we have to bring up these two.
Yeah, we have to. Because these are the elephants in the room. These are elephants in the room
for us specifically, at least. I'm pretty sure one of them is definitely going to be an elephant in the room for a lot of other people. Let's go with a lot of other people first. Promise Neverland. What the fuck?
And Darling in the Fangs. What actual
fuck?
Which one do you even want to tackle first? Because I think
let's go into Promise Neverland, because I think Promise Neverland had a higher ceiling.
Promise Neverland had all-time great ceiling. Promise Neverland had all-time great.
It had a GOAT ceiling.
How do you go from GOAT ceiling to out the league, bro? You go like GOAT ceiling out the league,
like with no injury.
No injury. You just out the league.
You just out.
You did it to yourself.
Like it'd be like, I was gonna say J.R. Smith, but it's not even, because J.R. Smith was like, despite him never training and trying to get better, he was still talented enough to just like be J.R.
Once a Nick, always a Nick. Leave J.R. alone. My point, I look at it like Promise Neverland for season 1 had everything. It had mystery. It had story. It had characters,
character development. Every character had its own place.
Plot, like legit plot.
And you had shock factor. You had us on the edge of our seats.
Everything.
Like, voice acting was really good. They hit almost every nail on the head that you could think of. They hit it. And
then for season 2, they came back and they just started hitting themselves instead of the nails. You know what I mean? Like, it just, it didn't, especially when, and this, thank God for social media sometimes, when people that had actually read Promised Neverland started hitting the timelines talking about, what is this? I knew that we were in for complete and utter BS. Because at first, I'm like, all right, people just talking a mess. I'll keep watching.
Yeah, sometimes people do that.
When they got into the bunker in season 2, and an entire character was missing.
Missing.
He just wasn't in the bunker. He's supposed to be in the bunker. Where is he? Not in the bunker.
Not.
I couldn't do it no more. That was when I was
fucked up. I finished it.
Oh, you finished it?
Oh, I finished it. I needed to know how bad they were going to fuck this up.
You better than me.
Let me tell you, they fucked it up even more. Bro, they wrapped up probably about and I'm just guessing here, and I'm gonna throw out random numbers. Mm-hmm. Let's say season 2 was based off of 150 chapters.
Okay.
They wrapped up the second half of that season in probably about. They tried to let's say the whole entire season 2 was 150 chapters. Mm-hmm. The first 4 episodes was let's say 60.
Okay.
The last 90 fucking chapters was condensed and thrown into this fucking shit and just said, and then they just said done.
It's the done. All right, cool. Here you go. It's like remember when you had
they made a casserole. They made a casserole.
Anime casserole is nuts.
They made an anime casserole. They just took whatever the fuck they had in their fridge and threw that shit in a fucking blender, put it in a pan, and then put it into a fucking oven. And prayed. I don't even think they prayed. I'm not even going to say that. That was purposeful. I felt like there was an agenda behind this. Like somebody lost a bet. And it was like, you know what? You lost this bet. Season 2 has to be fucked up now. Fuck you. I don't know. Because it felt like
when, no, I got you. It's like when remember what's the one song from the Black Panther where Future's like la di da di da, and that felt like he lost the bet. It's like
because no one thought for any second that you were supposed to be doing this.
No.
Bro, they ended up having this pact and just
for me, Promised Neverland season 2 was an example of when a show, I don't want to say rests on its laurels because I don't know what was going on.
You can't say that.
I don't know what was going on. I just folks that are working on a show with source material and we gonna get into that in a few minutes.
You got the source material in front of you.
You got the source material in front of you. You have everything that you need to be able to talk about and show the story. You got the answers to the test. We've acknowledged this before. You have the answers to the test. All you got to do is write the answers that are on page A onto your page B. And that's when you start sitting there scrabbling, trying to make up your own universe and world and things that are going to happen, or you just try and, we got to just do this. It's not. It always
never works out. It hasn't worked out once in any capacity. And just to tie in my own bias here, and my own issues and concerns with shit. This is why I don't like fucking This is why I don't like fucking live action, bro. Live action one. And it's not about whether the live action could or could not be good, but live action has to take liberties because it's live action. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And those liberties are always going to fucking bother me because for whatever fucking reason, no one knows how to fucking stay true to the actual source material in a way that's respectful. I will say that the One Piece live action did do a good job of that. The anime, the live action for One Piece did a good job, and guess what? Oda was behind that shit, so it makes sense. I understood why certain things were removed or why certain things were added in for the live action for One Piece. It made sense. I still didn't like it that much because I don't like live action that much. So that's a personal preference, but I still recognize that it was still like very well done. Every other live action I've ever seen, bro.
Booty, butt cheeks.
They tried to finish the anime without the manga being finished.
I wanted to. I got to segue now. I have to segue after that because that's a perfect way for us to go straight into the Avatar: The Last Airbender live action that dropped on Netflix. Now,
I have not watched it. I don't plan on watching it, but go ahead.
I have watched it. I have like 4 minutes left in the end of
the first episode.
At the end of I'm sorry, what?
I watched the first episode.
Oh, you watched the first episode?
That was enough for me.
I've got like 5 minutes left in the last episode. I already know what happens. I've seen Avatar: The Last Airbender of course 7 times. Like I already know what's going on. So I still feel strong enough to be able to say, all right, I'm gonna be able to talk about this a little bit. Even though AU, I can go into like spoiler territory because you're not going.
That's not a spoiler.
Yeah, even okay. And the thing that they did for Avatar: The Last Airbender, the live action, they changed the story of how things happened, but they weaved it in a way that it somehow finished where it was supposed to be. Every time they brought it back to where the story. So, like, if this is if a straight line is the Avatar like story, the timeline of where it's supposed to go, these motherfuckers took the line, broke off a piece, went all the way around here, but then brought it back to the line, and it worked in some places, and it really missed in others. Overall, I gotta give it a 6. 6.5 if I'm being nice.
Well, I knew they were fucking themselves a little bit when they decided they were going to remove Sokka's whole like misogyny arc, and like that is damn near half of his character and his development. So immediately removing that, you also have to remove the Kyoshi warriors because like in their interaction,
the Kyoshi warriors were in there. They were in there.
No, I don't mean that. I mean you have to then remove their interaction with Sokka in the same way. So therefore his love interest for old girl can't even really exist. He didn't have any interactions with her in a real way. There's no way. He never learned to respect her in order to love her.
That was one of my biggest. I got like a list of good, a list of bad. Sokka, the guy who played Sokka, I actually had him as a good. I think he did a pretty good job playing Sokka.
From what I saw, he did look like he did a pretty decent job.
He did a good job of playing Sokka. He had the jokes, he had the seriousness, he had the down pat of like a kid that was just trying to make his name, trying to do something that's going to make his dad proud, make his tribe proud. Like he had that. He felt a little old to kind of have that.
I was going to say he looked very old compared to everybody else. Like,
yeah, he felt a little old to have that kind of story, but I still thought that was fine. I still think
there's always going to be some casting things like that where it's just you have to unfortunately like, suspend your judgment.
To your point, Suki and his interactions, horrible, terrible, so bad.
Because they had to go ahead and rewrite whatever the fuck it is they were gonna do to make them like be a thing, and the source material was already there because you were too afraid to like not even push push the needle, but like. It's just right there. There was nothing wrong with Sokka's arc.
No, there wasn't. And it hurt Suki's character. Because although Suki was a very strong warrior, Kyoshi warriors were still very strong, it made Suki start to feel more like a damsel in distress or a lover of like, oh, the new guy's here. Ooh, it felt teen drama-y in a way that it never should have.
That's Suki degrading, and that's degrading to Suki, and that's degrading to the Kyoshi, and that's degrading to the Kyoshi warriors.
It was tough. That
because that was a learning experience for her too.
Yeah, and her learning. You want to know what her learning experience in this was? Oh my God, there's a boy my age here. Oh my God, it was like that. That's what it felt like. It was weird.
Yikes.
It was weird.
Yikes!
But that was. I'll give that the bronze medal for bad. The silver medal has to go to, and this is going to be a little weird. Silver medal's got to go to Zhao. Not the guy who performed as Zhao. I think a lot of the performances were good. The guy who was Zhao,
it was more like writing issues.
Yeah, no, seriously. Like the guy playing Zhao was good. It was the same dude from the original Rush Hour, with the blonde hair.
Yep.
Yeah. He plays Zhao. He was good. He was good as Zhao. The character was written so much differently than it was in the show. In the show, Zhao is a decorated military general. Correct?
Yeah.
In the anime, he is a out in the sticks general that even Ozai doesn't even know about. Nobody knows when they first start after Aang, after they all leave the Southern Water Tribe.
Wait.
Him and Zuko start working together to get after. He starts working under Zuko. He works underneath.
No.
So, yeah, he starts working under Zuko. So,
bro, he didn't even like Zuko. He didn't even like Zuko's the outcast. And he's like, bro, he went after the Avatar because Zuko failed.
You know who he found? Zhao felt like Littlefinger from Game of Thrones. He felt like the conniving dude in the background.
Bro, he was a respected motherfucker. Like,
he was a respected general. And then when he became admiral, he only became admiral not because of his exploits that he had done. He became admiral because Azula, who, again, another example of they did it really well. And Azula's a little different because we didn't see her in season 1, so they could make some stuff up.
Mm-hmm.
But Azula was the one that was giving Zhao, sending letters and correspondence back to Zhao and, telling Zhao how to move.
So which is why he ended up becoming that, because basically he was doing what she said.
Yeah, he was Azula's henchman at that point. Which, again, the dude played the role well. Don't like the way they wrote it, but he played the role well. But that's the silver medal. So Suki was the bronze, Zhao was the silver. The one that gets the gold and made me the most angry, bro. They massacred Bumi. They massacred my boy, bro. Bumi was terrible. Bumi was so bad. But the character of Bumi was insane. And I hated the Omashu episode with Bumi. It was so bad. The bending in this was top tier. The bending in this was the best thing that they did. The bending was amazing all the way across the board. So the fight between Bumi and Aang, still very good. And they still, again, kind of like I said, they take little nuggets and they drop little things throughout the series that gave us callbacks to the show. The choreography is almost the exact same. Remember Bumi threw a giant rock and Aang had to do the backflip over it. They threw that in there. So it was the choreography and a lot of things like that were very similar. But Bumi was essentially a mad king. He instead of giving Aang trials to, one, teach him he was being ready and tell him okay, you can't tell who I am. The first interaction they have, he's like, yo, what up? I'm Bumi. He snorts and Aang's like, Bumi? And he's like, hey, Aang, haven't seen you in a little while. What's going on? Why are you still young and I'm 100? What's happening here? So he knows at the beginning of the episode that it's Bumi he's dealing with. And the whole episode, Bumi is angry with Aang for leaving the world and having to have this war go on. He's legitimately angry with Aang the whole time. So all his trials, Bumi's actually trying to kill him because he's upset that Aang wasn't around and wasn't there. And he wasn't
even
lovable.
After all that fucking time, Bumi and Aang still loved each other in the anime. So it was or not the anime, sorry, the show.
The show.
Because why on God? Why would you even change that?
I don't know why they changed it.
The source material is right there. You don't have to create more conflict than there already is. These motherfuckers are children fighting a war. There is enough conflict.
Boomy's character, that was the closest I ever came to not going back and finishing the series. I'm not gonna lie. I stopped, and I was like, bro, they can't do
Boomy wasn't even in the show that much, but that one interaction between Aang and Boomy was just like is one of the prize moments of the whole entire show.
It was. It really
and it was such a pivotal moment for Aang too. Because right after that, they were already invading again. It was such a pivotal moment within the show. So it was like, I don't know. I knew it wasn't. Bro, I can't deal with live action. I can't.
I'll say this. The one thing that they did, so Omashu ended up being like 3 episodes. Like they were in Omashu for like 3 episodes, and they threw a lot of the storylines that happened.
That's very long, actually.
But that's what I'm saying. What they did was what they ended up doing, and this is where the writing actually did well in. They condensed it in a way that they took some of the storylines that were throughout them trying to get to the Northern Water Tribe, and they all just happened in Omashu. So, like, they meet Jet as they're walking into the village, walking into Omashu, because remember Papalopoulos or whatever they had to pretend to do? So they do have a callback to that later, even though he didn't say it at the gate. So I was mad when he didn't say it at the gate, but they had a callback to it later. So I said, all right, I'll let y'all rock. But one of the people that they meet that helps them get into Omashu is Jet. And so Katara meets Jet. They start doing their thing. The freedom fighters who were really cool. So that's how they played that. At one point, even the Secret Tunnel episode, they had the nomads that were going around saying Secret Tunnel, like they were there in a tunnel outside of Omashu. So like it worked because all of that stuff kind of was in the same region anyway because they were traveling, but they just dropped it all in Omashu and just did it over 3 episodes. It didn't feel super fast paced. It felt organic for the pace that the show was going on. So I didn't mind that. That's what I'm saying. None of that stuff happened in Omashu. Even the doctor or the scientist with the son who Aang thought was a airbender the first time he saw him.
Yep.
That he saw him in Omashu when they first get in. Aang looks up, he's like, airbenders are in Omashu. And so everyone's just there. Everyone's just there. So they had a couple of things that I didn't love how they did it, but there's a lot that you have to condense and you have to put it all in the same place. So
and I understand
them taking that approach is okay.
It's okay, but this is where I feel like if you're gonna do something in this regard, and I'm saying this for the record, Avatar to me is probably like, at least for me, probably top 5 best animated shows of all time. Like all time. Anime, not anime, whatever. Like this is Avatar. And I feel as though if you're going to take something of this magnitude, something so amazing, so spectacular, you more than likely have the budget to do it correctly. And
you would think
you don't have to condense it. You can just let the story be the story. I'm not saying you got to have that many episodes, but you can flesh it out. You can make the first 2 seasons the beginning. You get what I'm saying? And really set that precedent and really flesh things out and really get everything going the way it should be going. And they more, as you mentioned, clearly they didn't do that. And that's one of the, again, as I mentioned, live action, man. And I think it says something about not just like anime or like animated things. Like remakes nowadays, people just take too many liberties like with things. Like either leave it be or have the remake be something absolutely fucking phenomenally new. And if you can't do that, then leave it alone. We don't need it.
So when you say phenomenally new, how much? So I want to look at that from the standpoint. How much is too much of making it its own thing? Or would you rather have something make it its own thing, take a concept and transform it into something new? Or would you rather have a series just follow to a T the storyline and the source material?
A good example to like give you a little bit more of an idea of where I'm going with this. Transformers, live action. Obviously, it's not Transformers animated. And Transformers live action deviated in every fucking way possible. But it was new. It was its own thing. It was Transformers, but it was its own thing. And it was its own story and it was everything. And they made us love it. for what it actually was.
Mm-hmm.
I watched the Beast Wars movie, and Beast Wars is probably like my favorite Transformers, like television wise, like my favorite television arc for Transformers.
That was right when we were kids.
Mm-hmm.
So
I
right
love Beast Wars.
Mm-hmm.
I'm never going to sit here and act like Beast Wars is comparable to the actual TV show, but Beast Wars, the movie, felt like its own thing.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So, like, let it be its own thing. Transformers feels like a good example of, like, if you're going to do something and have it be deviated or whatever, just let it be its own thing and make us love it. What's that really thing that you say about, if you're going to make a joke, you better make me laugh or they're going to kill you?
Oh, yeah. George
So
Carlin.
it's like, that's it.
It's and I think Transformers is a really good example. Transformers is a really, really good example because it felt different, but it was still, you still got the, it was different, but it didn't feel different, I should say.
Mm-hmm.
You still got the vibe from it. This is
I
where
still
this
got the essence of Transformers.
This Avatar series had that at times, but they didn't have it the whole way through. Shut up, Siri.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't have it all the way through. And the times where it didn't have it, it missed bad. Like the people that like Aang had it at times because I think Aang, Katara, and Sokka were all really good. I think Gyatso was really good. I think Iroh was performed like the actor did well. I don't like the way they wrote Iroh. Iroh was a little bit, I don't say too serious, but he didn't give me jolly.
Mm-hmm.
Iroh wasn't very jolly. And especially in season 1, Iroh's still jolly before we understand, Dragon of the West. I already talked about Zhao. I think Jet was done well. And they had little callbacks to Jet saying like when Jet put the two swords together and was able to like do, so they had callbacks there. June was really good. Shout out Arden Show, Teen Wolf. And Zuko was man.
Teen Wolf, even though you never finished, so you can't shout shit out. Finish Teen Wolf,
I love
please.
Arden Show, so I can shout Arden Show out.
Finish Teen Wolf.
Zuko was meh, only because Zuko's story doesn't pick up till season 2 anyway.
He was really brolic too, from what I saw.
No, the fighting was good. The fighting choreography.
No, I'm just saying he was really brolic. It's not like I'm mad about it or anything. I'm just saying he was brolic as Zuko in the show.
And the way they had everyone look, everyone looked the part, including Zuko. Although, again, trying really hard. They did a good job. 6.5. Y'all got me at 6.5. I think it's 6.5 out of 10. I won't even say 6. 6.5. Why Zuko fought back against his father when he got the scar.
Mm-hmm.
Like when he got the scar, instead of like he bowed down, was like Father, Lord Ozai, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. And Ozai just walked up to him and just bow. That's how. Yeah, no, he fought. They fought. They like had like a mini, like a legit Agni Kai.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, they like fought a little bit. It wasn't really a fight, but Zuko swung. Zuko was swinging. Zuko was in there trying to like fight. Zuko never fought his dad. Zuko was terrified of his dad. Zuko was like, no,
as he should have been.
No. Yeah, no.
As a kid, you should have been. Yeah.
And so it was. I've got my issues with it. I truly do. But I think they performed as well as they could. The one that I will say.
I was gonna say, don't give nobody that excuse, man.
Why was Shi Tung there? Why Shi Tung didn't come to season 2?
They could. It's not as they could, bro. Like you have everything you need to make a successful like show, and you opted not to.
I don't understand why they opted not to, which is the worst part, because they didn't have to go that route.
Well, I think one part about that is like, for example, taking out the misogyny aspect from Sokka's like character is because they felt like it probably wouldn't have translated well in modern day times. Like, but it's just like the show is already great. Let the show be great. No one's gonna dislike it nowadays because like of what the times look like now. The show was still great for this. That's just the show.
And to be fair, Sokka really wasn't that misogynistic compared to some characters that we've seen in other shows on television.
Exactly, like 100%. So it's like you didn't have to do that. And like it sounds like they shot themselves in the foot.
I said this. I understood why the creators left. I 100% understood why. When the creators left, I could see why. Because the changes that they made were large enough that they affected how the story happened, but they weren't so large that they changed the story entirely. We still got to our destination. We still got to the Northern Water Tribe. It wasn't because Aang had to learn bending. It was because Aang had a vision that from Kyoshi, when he went to Kyoshi Island, that was the other thing. Aang could only talk to his past lives when he went to their shrines.
Yeah, not because they were. I remember that was the beginning of the whole entire show. That's why I was like, after that first episode, I was like, there's too much going
so
on.
They had the scene where he goes to.
It was like, he needs to learn how to find himself, and like I was like.
So when Kyoshi gave him the vision that the attack was going to happen on the Northern Water Tribe, that's when he's like, we got to go to the Northern Tribe. Not that he needed to learn waterbending. So once he got there, it still happened. The koi fish, giant Aang, killing everybody. We're still there. It's just like the path was windy, and parts of it were too windy, and they took too many liberties with the source material that it became frustrating. And I could see why the creators left, because if that's my baby, and my baby it's not even that's my baby Beyonce, my baby Jordan, my baby is Avatar: The Last Airbender. Like this ain't just like this is not just, my baby. No, my baby is my baby. Like, you don't and the world's baby. So like, come on.
George Lucas sold, Star Wars pretty much.
Mm-hmm.
And that got felt.
Oh yeah.
That got felt. So man,
hey, you all know what we're gonna do. I this is not one where I would recommend that you watch and finish it. I would.
Interesting, because you still always recommend that I actually go and like watch something. So that's says a lot coming from you.
I still think you need to watch the One Piece. I don't think you need to watch this. I will.
Oh no. I think I will tune into the One Piece. And if Oda ever says he's not behind it anymore, then I probably won't. But the One Piece I finished, and like I said, like I don't like live action. I still stand behind that. But I will continue watching One Piece. There was enough of the show, there was enough of the feel of One Piece in the live action that I'm attached to it. I didn't get that from that first episode when we were talking about Avatar. I didn't get that.
What about the Naruto live action? You heard about that? The Naruto live action?
Shit. I'm not even watching the first episode. Some things shouldn't be, bro. Some things just shouldn't be.
I'll say this. The last thing I'll say about the Avatar: Last Airbender live action, the scenes that I talked about before, where they do actually have callbacks to the original series that are really great. I love the Blue Spirit episode, as many people do, and they kept verbatim what Aang said to Zuko, where it was like, I had a friend Kuzan, and back in the Fire Nation, do you think we could have been friends? And same thing. Zuko attacks. He was on a boat, so like when he went to attack, Aang, spun out, and the boat got into the lake, and that's how he got away. That is an example of taking the source material, putting a nice little spin on it. Because remember that conversation happened when Sokka and them were sick, and he was in the forest, and Aang like hopped through the trees. Putting a little spin on it, putting Zuko on a boat because they had to like take a boat after the Blue Spirit and all that stuff. So putting them on a boat, having the attack like blow them away, having them be able to have to look at each other as one's going in opposite direction, the other one's staying on. That's a nice take of the source material, making it your own.
And making
that conversation has to. That conversation has to be.
It has to. So, 100%. I didn't see that part, obviously, but like you said, that there are certain things that as I mentioned, like Transformers, that's the best example I could think of. They made it their own thing, but it still felt like Transformers. And shout out while we fucking here, shout out to that fucking last Power Ranger movie, because that was the essence of fucking Power Rangers live action, and way too much fucking hate for that.
Facts.
That was the best Power Ranger movie of all time.
That is arguable. You can make the argument. You can 100% make the argument. You can make the argument that is the best Power Ranger movie they ever made. It's that or Mighty Morphin, because nobody Turbo was cheap. Turbo was cheap, but you can absolutely make the argument.
I know people hate Turbo, but I still did like Turbo. I don't know why. I just enjoyed Turbo as a kid. I just did, man.
the one thing, and this we'll close up out of here. AU shout out. One thing I want to do make mention to is shout out to Inside the Mind of a Blurred. We was on their podcast. What was that, like 2 weeks ago? Episode just dropped.
Yeah, 2 weeks ago.
Episode just dropped all on their socials, all on their channel. So make sure you go to Inside the Mind of a Blurred. Shout out Rob J. Shout out Scuba Steve. Appreciate y'all having us on. I think this Avatar: The Last Airbender live action would have been perfectly fine if M. Night Shyamalan did this, 15 years ago. If they took this version and that was the live action movie that people got, I think people would have been okay with it.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it. People would have been like, it's not the best, but we're good.
But it's okay.
We're good here. But that's saying it didn't go the route of...
That could be a double-edged sword. That could be a double-edged sword. And the reason why I say that is because, like, at that time, Avatar was still very, like, in.
Massive. That's why
it was still very much so in. So maybe that could have been a double-edged sword.
Well, I'll say this. They would have got a second movie. We would have been able to see Azula in that movie series. And
I wish they could delete that from cinema. I wish they could... I watched... Bro... I walked out of. I never bought tickets or whatever, but I remember trying to watch it for the first time.
Yep.
And I just walked away from the room. I was like, "What?" I was like, "You just decided you were going to do whatever the fuck you wanted to do."
Soka.
Like he really just took the craziest liberties. Without any respect to anything. All right, I don't even want to talk about it. He's a fucking weirdo anyway.
Man, we about to get up out of here. Appreciate y'all as always. You got anything you want to leave the people with before we slide?
You already know, baby. It's always room on the couch.
Always. And you already know. Appreciate y'all for listening to us. Listen to us wherever you get your podcasts. Rate us, review us. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a long day.
This shit becoming a theme now. That every episode you just say something so fucking wrong. Or just make up a word or some shit. Bro, the allegations are no longer allegations.
Sometimes you just
facts now. It's facts.
Nah, you just got a Schmeckeldorf. Sometimes you got a Schmeckeldorf. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm doing. Yo, listen to us wherever you get your podcast. Rate us, review us. Check us out on our socials, on Twitter, on IG, and on TikTok at Couch Stealers. And subscribe to the Couch Stealers YouTube and hit that notification bell so you know when we drop something brand spanking new. All right, y'all. Appreciate you. We outie. Bye, outie. Always room.
Peace, y'all.
Convention season is upon us. Whether you're hitting the panels or hanging out with your favorite content creators, planning for faster, more efficient hydration is essential. Liquid IV has you covered while you prep that cosplay, get ready for your favorite events, and recover after the weekend. So AU, what do you love most about Liquid IV?
I don't get hangovers, but I do wake up extremely groggy, but I do not get conventional hangovers. I'm tired, I'm groggy from the dehydration. Liquid IV is one of the things I buy every time I'm going to drink. Maybe one before I go to sleep, maybe one when I wake up too. Honestly, it keeps me refreshed, keeps me hydrated after a night of going hard.
One stick of Liquid IV in 16 ounces of water hydrates you 2 times faster and more efficiently than water alone. It comes in 12 delicious, refreshing flavors to keep your hydration routine exciting. It contains 5 essential vitamins, including vitamin C, with 3 times the electrolytes of traditional sports drinks. Made with premium ingredients, it's non-GMO and free from gluten, dairy, and soy.
Get 20% off when you go to liquidiv.com and use code CouchStealers at checkout. That's 20% off anything you order when you shop Better Hydration today using promo code CouchStealers at liquidiv.com.